All right, you want to learn how to install a door quick and easy and with pristine quality? You do it like this. Let's go.
So, a couple tools that you need is obviously your 15 gauge, maybe a hammer, a pry bar, and a level, and most importantly, shims. The first step is 4 temporary nails. So first, you line up the jamb with the drywall, make sure it's plumb or flush with it, and you go above the top of the hinge. So, like so. With the bottom, you line up the jamb with the drywall, make sure it's up against the 2x4, and then below the bottom hinge. Line up the jamb with the drywall, nail. Line up the jamb with the drywall, nail. Next step, set your gun down. All right, now that your door is temporarily hanging, basically shut it to see what's happening with the door at the moment. First thing we check is if the latch lines up with the strike plate cut out. So I basically want to line up these two marks here. In this case, I need to drop down the door. And the way to do that is you pry out your top nail. So now we recheck, and that's getting a little bit better. We can do a little more. So know that I don't need to pick up the door in this direction, so I can actually pry out this nail that I shot and then just kind of close that gap so the door touches the jamb. I always like to check the level of my door. I always want to make sure my door is level. And in this case, I need to drop the door, and then those two marks will line up. The last step before I start securing is I want to make sure my door is touching the jamb all simultaneously. One of the important rules to setting a door is making sure your top jamb is flush with the drywall at all times. Sometimes the framing will be off and you need to play with the jamb to make sure the door shuts all simultaneously. In this case, the bottom is touching first. So I'm gonna kick my bottom jamb a little bit into the direction it needs to go so the door shuts correctly. That a couple times, I just recheck it and it's good. The shim placement for the hinge side is very important. It'll allow your door to last over a long period of time. To start out, I want to make sure I'll put a shim above my bottom hinge. In a lot of cases, you're going to see that this gap here is non-existent. So the jamb is touching the door. So what this shim does, it actually picks up the door and moves it away. So I pry out a little bit, so I'm not pushing the shim and I'm pushing the jamb away. I pry out the jamb and straighten out that reveal. Then the second most important place is below the top hinge. You wanna make sure your shim is in contact with the 2x4 framing. All right, after I've done that, I can go ahead and just nail those shims that I've put. For this one, you wanna make sure you nail the shims on both sides of the middle part. And never ever shoot the middle part of the jamb. That's cosmetics. I like to kind of hold my jamb in the middle and shoot nails just for support and holding. I don't think the middle part of the door really plays a role. Those shims are going to hold the door in place. All right, my final step is making sure that this reveal is all consistent throughout. All right, now I've installed the latch side, as you like to call it. All right, check me out. So, all right, so one important rule for the reveal side is you do not want bigger, you do not want a smaller than a 1/8 of an inch reveal here, and you don't want anything bigger than 3/16. What plays a role in that reveal is when you install your handles, it really depends on how strong that latch is gonna be or how it's gonna operate in the future. And so if you place shims where needed to make the reveal all even throughout, that's up to you. Sometimes the jamb will be warped, so you need to put a shim where it's warped to make it all even. So yeah, that latch side, it's all to whatever the jamb is doing. And so yeah, that's the basic steps. The first 4 nails to temporarily set the door to see how the door is operating. Check the latch and the strike plate cutouts to make sure they're both at the same level. Make sure the door is touching the jamb evenly, and then you check your reveal, your latch side reveal, and make sure that's all even. So once you got that, you got a good door and it's gonna last you forever. Peace.